Number one, matter in our surrounding. So, how we define matter? Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. Now, coming to the classification of matter, early Indian philosophers classified in the form of 5 basic elements as air, earth, fire, sky, and water. These are known as Panch Tattva. On the basis of physical state of matter, it has been classified as solids, liquids, and gaseous state. Now, on the basis of chemical composition, matter is classified as pure substances and mixture. Now, pure substance, it may be in the element form or it may be in the compound form. Element, as you might be knowing, that sodium, aluminium, copper, gold, platinum, these are all the elemental form. And compound form, carbon dioxide, water, these are the compound form. And mixture may be of homogeneous mixture having the same phase of solvent and solute, or it may be heterogeneous mixture. Example, mixture of salt, chalk powder, sand, etc. When we talk about physical nature of matter, matter is made up of particles of matter are very tiny, they are very small, and particles of the matter have spaces between them. They have intermolecular space. Particles of matter are continuously in the state of moving condition. They continuously moves, and particle of matter attract each other. Okay, so one activity is there. You can see when you take a beaker full of water, you can dissolve some salt or water. You might be taking into the notice while making the sharbat or any drink. Now these particles, that sugar and salt particle, they are not seen after stirring. Why? Because they get the space between the particle and they intermingle with them. The second thing, we have studied particle of matter as very tiny. They are very small. So one activity is there in your book. If we take 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate, it is compound KMNO4, potassium permanganate, in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Then after dissolving it, we take 10 ml and again dissolve in a pure water of 100 ml. Then again from this solution 10 ml is removed and again dissolve in the pure water. Repeating after repeating 5 to 6 times, it is seen that few crystals of potassium permanganate can change the large volume of water because there are billions of tiny particles in each crystal. So particles of matter have a space between them. We have already seen in the activity where we take the water or sugar or salt and the salt dissolve into the intermolecular spaces of the water. So we can know the particle of matter have spaces in between. Now particles of matter are in continuous motion or they are continuously moving. Now we can see one experiment or activity. Take some water in beaker and put a few drop of blue or red ink slowly along the side of the beaker. Leave it undisturbed for a few hours and you can observe that ink spreads evenly throughout the water due to movement of particles of water and ink. So the intermixing of two or more different types of matter on their own is known as diffusion process, and from which we can know particles of matter are in continuous motion. The particles of matter attract each other. So you can see by one activity, take iron nail, piece of chalk and rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting or stretching. It is more easier to break the chalk, less easier to break the rubber band and difficult to break the iron nail. This is because the particles in the iron nail are held together with great force than in rubber and the chalk. Now we have already seen the matter and the particles of the matter. Now coming to the states of matter. Matter exists in 3 physical states: solid, liquid and gaseous state. Now coming to the first state of matter, that is solid. Solid have definite shape and fixed volume. Space between the particle in the solid is minimum as they are held closely to each other. The force of attraction between the particle is maximum because space is less, so they maximally attract each other. The movement of the particle is also minimum. It is obvious that intermolecular space is less, so movement of the particle will be less. They are least compressible. No space, no compression. So their rate of diffusion is least. Now, properties of liquid. Liquids have no definite shape but have fixed volume. Liquid take the shape of the container. As you all know, space between the particle is intermediate, means more than solid and less than gaseous state. The force of attraction between the particle is also intermediate. The movement of particle is also intermediate. They are less compressible. Liquids are less compressible as compared to gas, and their rate of diffusion is more than the solids. Now coming to the properties of gaseous state, gas have no definite shape or fixed volume. Gas occupy the whole space of the container. Space between the particle is maximum in the gas molecules, and the force of attraction between the particle is minimum. Understood? The movement of the particle is maximum. They are mostly compressible. You might have seen the example of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Their rate of diffusion is more than solid as well as the liquids. This is the comparative figure of solid, liquid and gaseous state. You can see the intermediate space or intermolecular space between the different states of matter. Now coming to change of state. Actually, solid, liquid and gaseous state, they are actually interchangeable. They can be changed from one form to another form. This can be nicely explained with the help of the water. Example of water. Water can be changed. Water is liquid in state. Water can be changed in the ice as well as in the vapors. So when the solid is heated, it changes into liquid. When liquid is heated, it changes into gas. Again, reverse is possible. When a gas is cooled, it changes into liquid. And when liquid is cooled, it changes into solids. Example, ice is heated, it changes into water. Water is heated, it changes into steam. And when steam is cooled, it changes into water. And water is cooled, it again changes into ice. Now, conversion of ice into water is known as melting. Water boils and convert into steam. It is known as boiling or evaporation. Again, when steam is cooled, it is known as condensation. And when again liquid is cooled, it is known as freezing. Now melting of ice. You can know from this, when a solid is heated, the particle began to vibrate with greater speed and began to move freely. Then at a particular temperature, the solid melts and changes into liquid. The process of melting is also known as fusion. Now, temperature at which a solid melts is called melting point. The melting point of ice, as we all know, 0 degree or 273 Kelvin. Now, one another concept of heat is latent heat of fusion. This is the amount of energy required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure is known as its melting point, or the heat is known as latent heat of fusion. Now boiling. As you all know, when a liquid is heated, its particles begin to move faster, and at a particular temperature, liquid begins to boil and changes into gaseous or vapor state. Boiling is a bulk phenomena. When liquid boils, the bulk of liquid change into vapor. Temperature at which liquids start boiling is called boiling point, and boiling of point of water, as we all know, 100 degrees centigrade, or in Kelvin 373 Kelvin temperature. Now another concept is latent heat of vaporization. So it is the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of a liquid into a gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is known as latent heat of vaporization. This pictorial diagram shows the effects of temperature on molecular motion of the solid and liquid molecule. You can see when solids are cold and when they are hot. And again, when liquid are cold, they are very closely associated with each other, and when they are heated, they create a larger space between them. Now, one more process is sublimation. Sublimation means direct change of solid into gas, no liquid phase. Now, the change of state directly from solid to gas or from gas to solid is called sublimation. Examples are camphor, in Hindi it is known as kapoor, or ammonium chloride. When it is heated, it changes into vapor. If the vapors are cooled, it again changes into solid. One more example is phenolphthalein ball. You might have seen at your house. Now, effect of pressure on gases. When pressure is applied on gas particles, they came closer and they liquefy, or they convert into the liquid or changes into liquid form. We can liquefy gas by applying pressure and reducing temperature. So very common example is LPG cylinders, liquefied petroleum gas, and compressed solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. If the pressure is reduced and it changes directly to gas without coming into liquid state, so solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. Up till now, we already known about interconversion of three states of matter. Solid can be converted into gas by sublimation. Solids can be converted into liquid by fusion. Liquid can be converted into solid by solidification. And gas can again be changes into liquid, condensation, and liquid again can be changed into gas, that is known as vaporization. Now, another process is evaporation. The change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Evaporation of water, it is very common example. Evaporation is the surface phenomena. As you know from the leaf surface, water is continuously evaporated from plant. Particles from the surface gain enough energy to overcome the force of attraction and changes into the vapor state. Now, some of the factors which affects the evaporation. The rate of evaporation depends upon the surface area. Larger will be surface, more increased rate of evaporation will be there. Second is the temperature. With the increase of temperature, rate of evaporation increases. Increase in humidity decreases the rate of evaporation. As water is already present in the atmosphere, now, an increase in wind speed increases the rate of evaporation. Now, in this diagram, you can see the high energy evaporation, medium energy pulled back into water, and lower energy remains as the liquid form. They do not evaporate. Now, evaporation causes cooling. This is very important. When liquid evaporates, from where it gets the heat? It gets the heat from its surrounding. Okay, so the particle of liquid absorb heat from the surrounding and it get evaporates. So the surrounding become cold. Example is very common. You can see people, you might have observed people sprinkle water on the roof or open ground, because during evaporation water absorb heat, making the hot surface cool. During summer, we sweat more because during evaporation, the sweat absorbs energy from our body and make the body cool. Likewise, wearing cotton clothes in summer keep us cool because cotton absorbs sweat, and when the sweat evaporates, it absorbs heat from our body, making the body cool. So this is very interesting diagram how evaporative cooling works. Now warm air coming in contact with water, water absorbs all the heat and changes into vapor, and we get the cooling effect. Air coolers and all these all work on this principle. Now desert cooler, you can see hot air getting inside and water source is there, and water absorbs the energy from the hot air. With the help of fan, cool air comes out.